Hello everyone, welcome to the history class. I am going to discuss about archaeological sources in this class. History is one of the most interesting subject to read, but it is not it is very difficult to write history. And sources always helps to write history. There are several sources like archaeological sources, literary sources, archival sources, but archaeological sources is one of the most reliable and authentic source to write history. Then what is archaeology? Archaeology is the science which enables us to dig the old mounds in a systematic and scientific manner, and also to read the archaeological remains and to form ideas to write the social life, political life, economic life and material life of ancient people. So, now I am going to discuss about the various types of archaeological sources. Number 1, inscription. So, study of inscription is known as epigraphy. When we read the old writings or the old records, it is known as paleography. Epigraphy is one of the most authentic source to write history. The second point is coin. So, study of coins is known as numismatics. Numismatics is very authentic and it provides us information regarding the kings and their territory, about the unknown kings who ruled over ancient India, and also it provides us vital information to write history. Then number 3, archaeological remains. Archaeological remains also helps a lot to write history and to read history. Then the last point is monument. So, these are the various types of archaeological sources. There are several types of inscriptions which I have already said, like inscriptions, coins, archaeological remains and monuments. So, monuments are temples, viharas, stupas, palaces, forts, gates, potteries, etc. When the excavation of Harappan civilization was done, then we can talk about the civilization prior to the Aryans. The excavation of Taxila provides us information about the Kusanas, and the excavation of Pataliputra by Dr. Spooner also provides us information regarding the old capital of the Mauryans. The Gupta Art is one of the is found at Ellora, Ajanta, Bagh. We can also found the best specimen of Gupta Art with the excavation of temples at Deogarh and various specifically the ancient monuments. The ancient monuments, they are religion oriented. Udayagiri and Khandagiri in Bhubaneswar, they gives us information regarding Jaina religion. Then Sarnath provides us about the Buddhist religion. Khajuraho, Ranipur Jhariyal provides us information regarding Hindu religion. So, these monuments provides us vital informations regarding religion. And Angkor Wat temple in foreign country also provides us information regarding the colonialism of ancient Indians. So, now I am going to discuss about the coins. The coins, which is one of the most important source which provides us information regarding the kings, regarding the territory, and also about the names of the kings. So, this is one of the most authentic source. So, now I am showing the slide of inscriptions. There are several types of inscriptions: commercial inscription, religious inscription, administrative inscription, eulogistic inscription, dedicative inscription or votive inscription, commemorative inscription, and donative inscription. Then coins are also divided into punch marked coins, which is one of the most earliest coins of India. Indo-Greek coins, second is Indo-Greek coins. Indo-Greek coins shows us the names of the 30 kings and queens who ruled over India. The name of those kings and queens is not available in the literary source. Then the Kusana coins, that reflects the gold content is more than any other period coins. Then the Gupta coins, where largest number of gold coins were available in India during that period. The Sultani coins, then the Mughal coins. So, this is the image of punch marked coins. These are a type of early coinage of India dating to between about the 6th and 2nd centuries BC. It was of irregular shape. And this is the image of Greek and Achaemenid coinage in northwestern India during 6th century onward. These are the images of coins of Gupta Empire. This is the image of silver coin of Akbar with inscriptions of the Islamic declaration of faith. The inscription reads, "There is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." Then the archaeological remains. It is divided into ancient civilization, religious institutions, and general structure. So, archaeological remains are found which are buried under the mound. So, what is mound? Mound is an elevated portion of the earth which is dug scientifically in a systematic manner, and there are different kinds of mounds in India, like single culture mound, major culture mounds, and multiculture mound. In single culture mounds, only one culture is reflected. For example, the Pgw culture or painted grey ware culture, which represents the Vedic period, and some mound shows Kusana culture. This is known as the single culture mound. Then the major culture mounds, in which one culture is dominant and the others are not so important in these mounds. And in multicultural mounds, it represents several important cultures in succession, which occasionally overlap with one another. So, let us discuss about excavation and exploration. So, the mounds are present in India in which we found our ancient past. A mound can be excavated vertically or horizontally. Vertical excavation is much more in India, but horizontal excavation is very expensive and is very rare, and it also provides less information than vertical excavation. So, vertical excavation means lengthwise digging to uncover the period-wise sequence of cultures. In horizontal excavation, the digging of the mound as a whole or a major part of it is excavated. The method helps the excavator to obtain a complete idea of the site culture in a particular period. So, it is being expensive or very few in number. So, let us discuss about exploration. What is exploration? The process of searching and collecting material remains of the past is known as exploration, or the unseen materials which are already present in the surface of the earth. So, excavation and exploration of archaeological sites are discovered by several methods. It can be discovered by sheer accidents, or it can be discovered by using clues in literature, or by regional or village surveys, or with the help of aerial photography, or by simple methods like inserting metal probes or rods into the ground, and remote sensing methods like Landsat satellites. The Landsat satellites creates images of the earth, and by following that image one can dig the mound. Then the scientific techniques used in archaeology for studying the archaeological materials: carbon 14 dating, paleopathology, paleobotanical studies, paleontology, faunal analysis. These are the scientific methods followed by the archaeologists in dating the materials or the archaeological remains. So, carbon 14 dating is one of the most important scientific method to date any material. Carbon 14 or radiocarbon 14, radioactive carbon, carbon 14, and the normal carbon, carbon 12 presents in an organism in a proportional way. When any organism dies, carbon 14 diminishes, but carbon 12 already present in the organism. So, in this way we can date, or the archaeologists date the material. Then the paleobotanical studies, in which we study about the vegetation, about the plant life by pollen analysis method. So, let us discuss about inscription or epigraphy. Study of inscriptions inscribed on pillars, rocks, copper plates and wooden or stone tablets are called epigraphy. So, there are various types of inscriptions. Ashoka's edicts are also a specimen of the administrative inscription. Sogaura copper plate inscription is a pure administrative inscription. Another is Junagadh rock inscription of Rudradaman fast. It is very difficult to decipher the inscriptions. The inscriptions of Harappan culture have not been deciphered yet. Ashokan inscriptions was also very difficult to decipher. Firoz Tughlaq, he was unable to decipher the inscriptions of Ashoka. He called upon many Brahmin Pandits during his period, but during the administrative period of Britishers, it was deciphered in 1837. Inscriptions used for the purpose of trade and commerce are called commercial inscription. For example, Mandasur inscription of Kumaragupta is one of the example of commercial inscription. Ashoka's inscriptions are examples of religious inscription. Ashoka had given instructions how to lead a religious life, a pious life through his inscriptions, through his rock edicts, his minor pillar inscriptions. Allahabad pillar inscription is also one of the example of eulogistic inscription. Eulogistic inscriptions consisted of the eulogy related to the various achievement of the king. For example, Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta, Hathigumpha inscription of Kharaveda, or Bhitari stone pillar inscription of Skandagupta. These are the examples of eulogistic inscriptions, where the achievements of the king is scribed on the stone and the pillars. The praising the achievements of the king is related to eulogistic inscriptions. Then the inscriptions which are dedicated in the honor of god or goddess are known as dedicative or votive inscription. Aihole inscription of Pulakeshin II, Besnagar Gauda pillar inscription of Heliodorus are examples of dedicative or votive inscription. Then the commemorative inscription, any important events or achievements of any king, birth or death of any ruler is referred in the inscriptions. It is branded as commemorative inscription. So, Rumindei inscription of Ashoka is the example of commemorative inscription. Ashoka, he wanted to commemorate the birth of Gautam Buddha in that place. So, he had erected at in that place and a pillar in that place, and it is known as the commemorative inscription. Then the donative inscriptions included the land grants made by the king to learned Brahmins, educational institutions or religious organizations. Barabar cave inscriptions, land grants of Ganga and Gajapati kings of Odisha are examples of donative inscriptions. Then the foreign inscriptions, Bogaskoi inscription, Tel El Amarna inscription from Asia Minor region depicts the pre-Aryan period of India. Nakhirustam inscription highlights on Indo-Iranian relations. So, these are the images of coins. So, now I am going to discuss more elaborately the archaeological sources. Archaeology, which studies the past things. Archaeus means ancient and logos means knowledge or simply the science of ancient things. Lord Curzon, he founded the Department of Archaeology, and Sir John Marshall, the first Director General of Archaeology, performed marvel by excavating the Indus Valley civilization. Archaeological Survey of India is a special department in the Government of India which carries out the work of excavation. The archaeologists excavate the earth by scientific method and technology. Different types of coins, seals, utensils and other remains come to limelight through excavation. The process of exploring, penetrating or ranging over for purpose of discovery is known as exploration. So, sites are discovered by sheer accident, which I have already told it, and by using clues in literature, by regional or village surveys or with aerial photography. Sites buried underground are more sophisticated remote sensing techniques used such as Landsat imagery. Scanners of Landsat satellites create digital images of the earth's surface and can help identify features such as ancient river courses, canals, embankments and buried settlements. So, archaeologists rely on various scientific techniques in order to obtain precise information about past communities. So, what I have already told that carbon 14 dating is a method of dating the past, and it is one of the most authentic method. It is based on the fact that carbon 14, a radioactive form of carbon, is being continuously produced in the atmosphere and becomes a part of all living organisms. Archaeological sources reads about the past things. It is derived from two words, archaeus means ancient and logos means knowledge or simply the science of ancient things. The ancient things means the archaeological remains or materials which are buried underground and excavated by the archaeologists. Lord Curzon founded the Department of Archaeology, and Sir John Marshall, he was the first Director General of Archaeology, performed marvel by excavating the Indus Valley civilization. The archaeologists have excavated various sites which provides us information regarding the social life, economic life, political life, religious life and cultural life of ancient people. With the excavation of Harappan culture, we knew that a civilization exists before the coming of the Aryans into India. The modern civilization of Harappan cities like Lothal, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Kalibangan, etc. were excavated, and R.D. Banerjee was the first who excavated the site of Mohenjo-daro. Archaeological Survey of India is a special department in the Government of India which carries out the work of excavation. Due to the excavation, we know about our past. The archaeologists excavate the earth by scientific method and technology. Different types of coins, seals, utensils and other remains come to limelight through excavation. Different types of potteries found from the excavation provides us information about the period of different ruling periods or different periods of history. The Pgw culture or painted grey ware culture, it represents the Vedic culture. During the period of Mauryans, the people used different types of potteries, and during the Harappan culture, the people used black and red ware. So, the potteries, they provides us information regarding the period of ancient Indian history. The seals provides us information about Harappan culture, the religious system of the Harappan people, the agriculture which they carried on during that period, their trade and commerce of that period. The seals also provides us information that foreign trade was established between the Harappans and other foreign countries like of Mesopotamia. Then the utensils and other remains also come to limelight through excavation. The process of exploring, penetrating or ranging over for purpose of discovery is known as exploration. The difference between excavation and exploration is in excavation we dig the ancient materials, but in exploration we discover the materials or the historical materials which are already present in the surface. So, sites are discovered by sheer accident, by using clues in literature. In several literatures, we found the sites or the archaeological sites by regional or village surveys or with aerial photography. The sites which buried underground can be detected by inserting metal props or rods into the ground. There are also more sophisticated remote sensing techniques such as Landsat imagery. Landsat imagery helps a lot in finding the archaeological sites. The scanners of Landsat satellites, they create digital images of the earth's surface and can help identify features such as ancient river courses, canals, embankments and buried settlements. Then the archaeologists, they rely on various scientific techniques in order to obtain precise information about past communities, which already I have discussed about carbon-14 dating. It is a scientific method in which the dating of the organism is done by the archaeologists. It is a method of dating the past. It is based on the fact that carbon-14, a radioactive form of carbon, is being continuously produced in the atmosphere and becomes a part of all living organisms. A living organism contains radioactive carbon or carbon 14 and normal carbon 12 atoms in a fixed proportion. When any organism dies, the carbon 14 diminishes, but the carbon 12, which is normal, is present in the organism. On the other hand, the carbon 14 content of the material begins to diminish with time according to known radioactive disintegration laws. So, the known rate of decay of carbon 14 combined with the facts that all living matter contains carbon 14 and carbon 12 in a fixed proportion, and the latter does not decay, forms the basis of the method of radiocarbon dating. So, other scientific methods includes their no luminescence, potassium argon, electron spin resonance, uranium series and fission track dating. Then paleontology is another scientific method which is followed by the archaeologists. It is the study of the remains of the dead organisms over enormous spans of time. Then the faunal analysis gives information about the animals people hunted and domesticated, the age of animals at death and the diseases that afflicted them. So, this method helps us to know about the animals and their diseases. Then paleopathology, it is also a scientific method which is followed by the archaeologists, and it is the study of diseases ancient people suffered from by analyzing their bones. Then the paleobotanical studies, it includes the analysis of pollen and other minute plant remains, seeds, charcoal sediments and geological strata. So, now I am giving more information about monuments. So, monuments form another significant part of archaeological source. The temples, the gates, forts, palaces, viharas, chaityas, buildings, statues of stones or metals, then terracotta, ornamental and decorative fragments, pottery etc. give us valuable and reliable information. In the dry arid climate of western Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and northwest India, antiquities are found in a better state of preservation. But in the moist and humid climate of the middle Gangetic plains and in the deltaic regions, even the iron implements suffer corrosion and mud structures becomes difficult to detect. Dr. Spooner, while excavating Pataliputra, he faced a lot of problem, and due to waterlogging situation of that area, he was unable to receive more information. Then the Megalith culture found in South India. The South Indian people, they buried the dead persons with their tools, weapons, pottery and other belongings in the graves, which were encircled by big pieces of stone. So, by digging them, we get information about culture of Deccan from the Iron Age onwards. So, southern Indian history or the lifestyle of South Indian people is known from the megalithic culture. Then the excavation at Taxila throw light on the Kushanas and Gandhara school of art. Splendor of Guptas known from the excavation of temples at Deogarh in Jhansi and Bhitargaon near Kanpur. The specimens of Gupta art are available at Jhansi, Ellora, Bagh, Ajanta etc. So, the ancient Indian monuments are primarily religion oriented. The medieval monuments are specimens of Indo-Islamic architecture. The ancient Indian monuments, they are primarily religion oriented, because we got religious informations from those monuments. The Udaygiri and Khandagiri provides us the religious condition of Odisha during that period, or the Buddhist religion also known from the Jaugarh, then Sarnath, from these places. And the monuments, or the medieval monuments, are like the Red Fort, then Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal, etc., which reflects the Indo-Islamic architecture. And the monuments of modern period are Victoria Memorial, India Gate, Rashtrapati Bhavan, etc. Then the Angkor Wat temple at Cambodia and Borobudur Stupa at Java in Southeast Asia, they are the sources of the colonial and commercial activities of the Indians. The ancient Indian people, they went to foreign countries and established their colonies, which is proved by the excavation or the temple of Angkor Wat temple at Cambodia, because the Indians, they settled in that place and built the temple and established their colonies. Now I am going to discuss about the inscriptions. The study of inscriptions is called epigraphy. The study of the old writing used in inscriptions and older records is called paleography. So, inscriptions were carved on seals, stone pillars, rocks, copper plate and temple walls. The earliest system of writings is found in Harappan seals. The Harappans used to write in a pictographic manner. Their writing style was known as the Boustrophedon. And when we discuss about the seals, it is considered as the first writing of the Harappan people. The South Indian people, they have carved their writings in stones, stone pillars, and the copper plates were used, or they were inscribed by during that period when they donated any land grants, and the land grants were donated to the religious institutions, to the learned Brahmins, Pandits, etc. during that period. Those were the copper plates are known as Tamrapatra, or sometimes Sasanapatra, etc. The writing system of the Ashokan inscriptions are considered to be the earliest. These are found written in 4 scripts. In his empire in Afghanistan, he used Aramaic and Greek scripts for his edicts. In Pakistan, he used Kharoshthi. The Brahmi script was used for the rest of his empire, from Kalsi in the north in Uttaranchal up to Mysore in the south. So, these 4 types of inscriptions were used during the period of Ashoka's ruling period. That was the Brahmi, Kharoshthi, Greek and Aramaic. Most inscriptions bearing the history of Maurya, post-Maurya and Gupta times have been published in a series of collections, which is called as Corpus Inscriptionum Indicarum. Now, there are more than 50,000 inscriptions which are yet to be published by the archaeologists. So, we have various types of inscriptions, then they can be grouped under the following heads, which I have already discussed: administrative, religious, eulogistic, commercial, magical, donative, commemorative and literary. In literary inscription, the Vedic analysis of Sayana has been inscribed in a very good manner. Ashoka's edicts are a specimen of the administrative inscriptions. Religious and moral matters were dealt with in religious and didactic inscriptions. Eulogistic inscriptions are very important from the political point of view, as it contains the name, genealogy, personal accomplishments, patronage of the ruler. The commercial inscriptions are found on the seals of Harappa, and magical inscriptions are found on amulets of Harappa. So, donations of caves are referred in donative inscriptions. Commemorative inscriptions record events like birth, death or important events. Then the study of coins is called numismatics. There are several types of coins were used by the Indians during that period. The ancient coins were made of metals like copper, silver, gold, lead. The coin molds made of burnt clay have been discovered in large numbers. The punch marked coins are the earliest coins of India, which are made of silver and is called as Karsapana. So, Karsapana means the silver coins. Then the Mauryas issued silver coins in large numbers, and then the Satavahanas, they issued lead coins. So, Indo-Greeks, they issued coins which carried the portraits of kings and their names. They were the first who issued gold coins. In India, when the Indo-Greeks issued first time the gold coins, they were known as effigies. Here the images of kings reflected in the coins. So, the coins provides us information regarding the names of the king, the territory of the kings, and the unknown kings who ruled over that area or different parts of India during that period. The names of the unknown rulers is known to us only due to the introduction of coins. It is known that 30 kings and queens of Indo-Greek rulers, the name of those rulers are mentioned in coins. There is no evidence of their ruling period in any literary source. So, the coins are the authentic source to know about the rulers who are ruling over India during the Indo-Greek ruling period. The archaeology speaks when the literary remains silent. There are several informations which is provided by the coins is absent in literature. Then the Kushanas issued their coins mostly in gold. It is known from the coins that how far the kingdom was prosperous or the king was prosperous or the economic condition of that ruling period was known from the coins. Then the Guptas issued largest number of gold coins. Although the Guptas they introduced largest number of gold coins, but their gold content was not more than the Kushanas. The Kushana gold coin was superior than the Gupta gold coins. We have already discussed about the archaeological sources. I have already discussed about archaeological sources, about inscriptions, coins, archaeological remains and monuments. Now, I am going to discuss some questions and answers which will be quite beneficial for the students. The science, what is archaeology? The first question is what is archaeology? And the answer will be the science which enables us to dig the old mounds in a systematic manner in successive layers and to form an idea of the material life of the people is called archaeology. Then the next question will be how many archaeological sources is divided into how many parts? It is divided into 4 parts. Number 1 is inscriptions, number 2 is coins, number 3 is archaeological remains, and number 4 is monuments. The study of inscriptions is known as epigraphy, which is the first point, and the study of coins is numismatics, it is the second point, and the archaeological remains or the material remains which is excavated by the archaeologists is the third point, like the bones, the potteries, then the palaces, etc. Then the fourth is the monuments. The monuments are the stupas, the biharas, etc. This slide shows inscriptions of ancient period. The inscriptions are carved on stone pillars, temple walls, and in pillars. Then the next question will be, how many types of inscriptions are there? So, there are several types of inscriptions like commercial inscriptions, religious inscription, administrative inscription, eulogistic inscription, dedicative inscription, commemorative inscription, donative inscription. Then the coins. The question will be, what is meant by the term numismatics? Numismatics means, the answer will be like this. So, numismatics means the study of coins, and they are divided into different groups: punch marked coins, Indo-Greek coins, Kushana coins, Gupta coins, Sultani coins, and Mughal coins. This slide shows the punch marked coins. They are a type of early coinage of India, dating to between about the 6th and 2nd century BC. It was of irregular shape. Then the Greek and Achaemenid coinage in northwestern India during 6th century onward. The Athens coins 500 century to 490 or 485 BC, discovered in Pushkalavati. This coin is the earliest known example of its type to be found so far east. This is the very rare coin. Then the bent bar minted under Achaemenid administration, Gandhara, 350 century BC. This slide shows the coins of Greek and Achaemenid period. This slide shows the coins of Gupta Empire. Silver coin of Chandragupta II of Gupta Empire in the style of the western satrap, with Pseudo-Greek script on the obverse, 400 century coin. Then the gold coins of Chandragupta II of Gupta Empire, 400 century. This slide shows the silver coin of Akbar with inscriptions of the Islamic declaration of faith. The inscription reads, "There is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." Then archaeological remains. The questions will be like this: what is meant by the term archaeological remains? Archaeological remains are categorized as one of the authentic source of archaeology, in which excavation and exploration made by the archaeologists, and the materials are excavated and studied in a scientific manner. They are grouped into ancient civilization, religious institutions, and general structures. Then there will be question, what do you mean by the term mound? The mounds is an elevated portion of land covering material remains of old habitations. There are different kinds of mounds. Number 1 is single culture mound, second major culture mounds, and the third is multi-culture mounds. This is divided into 3 types of mounds. What is single culture mound? It represents only one culture throughout. For example, some mounds represent only painted grey ware culture, some shows Kushana culture, etc. Then the question will be, what is the major culture mounds? Here one culture is dominant and other cultures are not so important. Then what is meant by the multicultural mounds? It represents several important cultures in succession which occasionally overlap with one another. Then the question will be, what is meant by the term excavation? Excavation is a mound can be excavated vertically or horizontally. This is excavated, the mound is excavated vertically or horizontally. Then what is vertical excavation? Vertical excavation means lengthwise digging to uncover the period wise sequence of cultures. What is meant by the term horizontal excavation? It means digging the mound as a whole or a major part of it. The method helps the excavator to obtain a complete idea of the site culture in a particular period. As it is very expensive, it is very few in number. Then what is meant by the term exploration? The answer is the process of searching and collecting material remains of the past is known as exploration. Then next question will be, what are the process used in archaeology for excavation and exploration? The answer will be excavation and exploration of archaeological sites are discovered by sheer accidents, by using clues in literature, by regional or village surveys, with the help of aerial photography, by simple methods like inserting metal probes or rods into the ground, and remote sensing methods like Landsat satellites. Next question will be, what are the scientific techniques used in archaeology to study the archaeological remains? The answer will be carbon 14 dating, paleopathology, paleobotanical studies, paleontology, then faunal analysis. Then what is epigraphy? Study of inscriptions inscribed on pillars, rocks, copper plates and wooden or stone tablets are called epigraphy. Then what are the types of inscriptions? There are various, answer will be various types of inscriptions. Number 1, administrative inscriptions. Ashoka's edicts are also a specimen of the administrative inscription. Sogaura copper plate inscription is a pure administrative inscription. Junagadh rock inscription of Rudradaman I is also the administrative inscription. Then the second is commercial inscription. Inscriptions used for the purpose of trade and commerce are called commercial inscription. For example, Mandasore inscription of Kumaragupta. Next is religious inscription. Ashoka's edicts and pillar inscriptions are examples of religious inscription. Then what is eulogistic inscriptions? Eulogistic inscriptions consisted of the eulogy related to the various achievements of the king. For example, Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta, Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavada and Bhittari stone pillar inscription of Skandagupta. Another type of inscription is the dedicative or votive inscription. The inscriptions which are dedicated in the honor of any god or goddess are known as dedicative or votive inscription. Next question is, the examples of votive inscriptions are Aihole inscription of Pulakesin II, Besnagar Garuda pillar inscription of Heliodorus, they are the examples. Then what is commemorative inscription? Any important events or achievements of any king, birth or death of any ruler is referred in the inscriptions is branded as commemorative inscription. What is donative inscription? Donative inscriptions included the land grants made by the king to learned Brahmins, educational institutions or religious organizations. For example, Barabar cave inscriptions, land grants of Ganga and Gajapati kings of Odisha. These are the examples of donative inscriptions. Then if there will be question about archaeology, then archaeology is derived from two words, archaeus means ancient and logos means knowledge or simply the science of ancient things. Next question will be, who founded the Department of Archaeology? The answer will be Lord Curzon founded the Department of Archaeology and Sir John Marshall was appointed as the first Director General of Archaeology. So now I am going to conclude Archaeological sources is one of the most important sources to write about history, and it also provides very vital informations to know about our ancient past. It is very authentic. The coins, the inscriptions and the archaeological remains, the monuments, they cannot be tampered, and they provides very authentic and reliable information, and it helps the researchers to write history in a very systematic and scientific manner. Archaeological Survey of India, excavated many sites, and due to the archaeology, Harappan civilization was excavated, and where literary sources remain silent, archaeology speaks. Archaeology provides us information regarding the timings or the period of ancient Indian history. We are able to know about different periods of history due to archaeology, and archaeology is one of the most important source of Indian history. Thank you.